See, my heart doesn't usually race, but it's racing because this is super, super extraordinary. Yeah, for a little kid from the Dominican Republic, a little kid who grew up in such chaos, to have this many people come to say thank you or to celebrate or just to be curious, you know, it is quite an honor. And I'm so grateful. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It's a miracle. Yeah. Mary, I have something on my computer that says this meeting is being live streamed. So do I, and then it has a blue box, got it? Should I be saying got it?
Yep.
Yeah, just say got it. We are live streaming now, which is awesome.
Got it. So can
Did you
you
wanna
just,
wait-
for
oh,
those who
there.
don't know what that means, can you tell us a little bit what that means that we're live streaming?
Well, what it means is that we are broadcasting this gathering also on Santa's Facebook page.
So does that mean people will be seen or only I will be seen, just for privacy, respect?
Whoever talks will be seen.
Okay, so please know that you'll be seen on Facebook Live if you talk. Marlene,
Hi, so good to see you, Santa.
nice to see you. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So that's the deal, Mary. If someone speaks, then they will be seen on Facebook Live. So if you're hiding from your wife, your husband, or the debtor, don't speak. We can talk later. They'll find you. Yay. And what is that, Beth? What do you have there?
I don't know. I think you might be an author. This might be your book.
You mean
Oh,
this one?
he has the book.
You mean this one?
This one.
Yay.
Oh, these people are showing
yeah,
off.
yes.
They
Oh,
are
yes,
showing
yes,
off.
yes. Some people that just could not wait, huh?
You guys are showing off.
Mhm,
Hey,
mhm.
Yanni, how are
Hey,
you?
Marlene, how are
Oh,
you?
look at this.
Great, good to see you.
Look at this.
To see you too.
So you
Yeah.
guys have the book already. Oh my.
They don't want to miss
Impressive.
anything. Polly,
We are
hi.
late.
Ah, what a gift. So, Miss Mary, are we starting yet? Or have we already started?
We
I'm
have
not
started.
in charge, but I'm not in charge, I promise.
We have started, Santa, and I'm still letting a few people in, and I'll continue to do that.
Yay, sounds wonderful. So you tell me when you want me to follow the agenda. Yes.
So first of all, can we ask everyone to mute themselves and unmute themselves when they want to speak, just so we can cut down on the background noise?
Mhm.
But part of this is a celebration, so do feel free to join in. And there's a bit of an echo. There's a slight delay with the Facebook feed, so you may hear duplicates.
Does anybody sing?
Who's got a good voice?
Where's my singer? Leslie, you used to. You don't anymore.
Having a celebration.
All right.
We celebrate you, our sister.
Oh, thank you. Who else has a voice that they want to expose? I'm looking down at my phone, folks. I have to just tell you what I'm doing here because it doesn't feel right. But my sister, who intended to join us, is just saying, "How do I get on?" So if I can help her get on, I will. If not, then sis, you'll just see a tape at some point. Let's see if I can do that.
So she knew to hit the link?
Well, the problem is I can't find the link.
Oh, do you want me to resend that to her? Can you put her email in the chat to me and I'll send it to her?
Okay, that's good. That may take just as long, Mary. Give me a phone number.
I can resend it directly to you. Would you like me to
Send
do
it to
that?
me. Please do that. Send it to me,
Okay.
please. Thanks,
Hold on.
Mary. Cassie, are you hiding? I would love to see your little face, even if it's just for a second.
My camera is broken, Santa.
Oh, that's right. You did tell me that. I'm sorry, Cassie.
Okay.
Oh, Julian, you're the guy. Julian just sent it to me as well. So my saviors. Okay, let's see here.
Santa, your friends are very patient.
Oh yeah, they are. But you all are not waiting on me. You're waiting on Mary. Right,
Okay.
Mary?
I just sent you the link.
Okay. Ain't me.
Well, are we ready to go, Santa? Should we go ahead and I should introduce you formally?
Yes, please. Formal introductions.
Okay. Okay. So I do want to introduce Santa Molina-Marshall. She is a clinical licensed holistic psychotherapist. And
What happened, Mary?
somatic experience practitioner who has been in the field of trauma and sexual violence since 1990. In April 2014, she was awarded the National Sexual Violence Resource Center 2014 Visionary Voice Award for her outstanding work in the field of anti-sexual violence within her community. I'm muting the Facebook feed because I'm getting an echo. So for 8 years, she held the position of Director of Counseling, followed by a year as Interim Executive Director at the DC Rape Crisis Center. Prior to her employment with the center, Ms. Molina-Marshall served as Lifeline for Kids Project Coordinator for the Center for Adoption Support and Education, Inc., worked as an adoption subsidy social worker for Child and Family Services Agency in DC, and served as clinical director at Sanctuary for Families, Inc., a domestic violence organization in New York City. Presently, she manages her private practice in Washington, D.C., and is a national and international speaker on women, trauma, mindfulness, grief and loss, compassion fatigue, neurobiology of trauma, and other topics. She is a licensed clinical social worker and somatic experiencing practitioner. She obtained licensing certification as a massage therapist, integral yoga teacher, Reiki master, and was ordained as an interfaith minister at the New Seminary in New York City in 2004. Santa, when exactly do you sleep?
I wasn't expecting you to ask that question. That's private. That's
So
what
you
I
are,
heard.
to wrap it up, she is a compassionate and dedicated clinician and now a published author.
Yay.
Woo, that's when you all say, wow.
Yay.
Yes.
Woo!
Again, thank you all. Yeah, thank you. And that is a lot, I've been in this world for a long time. And I have to say that all of my life has been dedicated to doing service, whether I was doing service for my siblings, my parents, or my community. So it is Quite an honor. I want to just do some thanks, if I may. I've already given thanks to Spirit and the ancestors and all the energy that walks with me. And I want to give thanks to you. I want to give thanks to all of you who have, in some ways, crossed paths with me and have either been an incredible support to me, like my therapist, Beth Wheeler. Thank you, Beth. Shout out to my therapist. Everybody thinks I'm the greatest. Well, I've got the greatest and I'm very grateful. I give thanks to all of my friends for my 12-step programs that are here. I won't point you out because that's anti-12-step program, right? I give thanks to Veronica Yager from Yellow Studio for producing, publishing my book. I so thank you, Veronica, for making it what seems like streamless. It took me 3 years working with a publisher and nothing ever happened to working 2 months, 3 months with Veronica. And I am published and very happy. So thank you. Thank you, Mary, for supporting the promotion in whatever way you have done that behind the scenes and talking to me and educating me about this process. Oh, I want to thank you, Nina. And there are 2 people who have served as my editors, and that's Nina Rosina Riley, as well as, oh God, I just blanked out on Helen Morgan. So I give thanks to my editors. And there were many others as well. I give a special thanks to Cassie Cornelia for introducing me to who has been an inspiration in my life. And that is my writing coach, writing friend, elder friend, sister, who I will always keep in my heart. I give strong, strong thanks to that lady, whose name I'm blanking out right now. Cassie, help me. So I know.
Maxine.
Maxine Claire, thank you. I just need a little something, something to get me going. So I give thanks. That's it. I give thanks to you all, and I'm very appreciative. I give thanks to how we can hold space for both being therapist, friend, client, patient, for being all of those things. Thank you for recognizing my humanity and for helping me to become whole by allowing me to show up with my heart, my thoughts, my spirit. Thank you all. And let's have some fun, or at least learn more about me. I'm very appreciative. I am going to introduce my dear friend, Nina Rosina Riley. Someone who has known me for over 25 years, also sister social worker. We've done lots of work together, but most of all, we've healed together. I remember the days Nina and I sat and did what was then called peer counseling. We helped each other heal. And since then, whenever I've needed, Nina has been there to hold space. So I'm very grateful to friends like you, Nina. Yeah.
Honor and a privilege, Santa. Thank you.
Absolutely. And you're probably the only person who I would allow to interview me without me the questions.
Okay. You may regret that, but let's go.
We'll see. We'll see. So I think it's that time, right, Mary?
Yes, let's have you 2 interview each other, I guess, is the way it's gonna go.
We'll see.
Okay, first of all, for those of us that don't have your book yet, Santa, would you share some of your favorite parts of the book?
Some of my favorite parts of the book. I will. But first I have to be clear, because being clear and boundaries are important to me. Like read something from my book or just tell you what's been the favorite thing?
Your choice.
My choice, huh? Okay. Well, I tell you that what has been my most favorite aspect of the book has been putting it together, has been realizing that I did have a story to tell. It has been figuring out what is worthy of being told, what can bring healing, what can bring peace, what can bring someone hope. And so figuring out, right, that, oh, I have some things that can bring hope to people. And that is me. That is my story. That is my journey. That is the vulnerability with which I wrote this book. And really, I wrote it for you all. I know the story. I lived the story. But thinking that maybe the story can offer something more to people. Yeah. How often do you get, a licensed clinical psychotherapist with 25 years experience saying, hey, I'm just like you. I went there. I got out of there. Right? And so that's been the joy, is to be able to write something that says, yeah, we can all reach wholeness again. I hope that answered your question.
I think so. Okay, so Santa, would you share with us some of the secrets of your success?
Oh my God, I feel like I'm on Oprah. It happened before I even realized it was happening. Okay, so what are the secrets of my success? Being honest as I could possibly be with everyone. Not allowing my heart and my spirit to be changed. Giving away everything I've got, just giving it freely. Because I believe that it'll only come back to me tenfold. Saying yes. Yes. Okay. Yes. I'll come. Yes. I'll try. Yes. I'll do. Yes. And knowing, most importantly. Yes. How are you doing, people? Hey, girl. Whoa. Big day today. Yes. Yes. Nina, I'm sorry. Yeah, it may be helpful if people mute themselves because I'm hearing all kinds of things in the background. And
Maybe
maybe
a
who I'm
Wilda.
hearing the most is me. No, wait. Yeah, it may be helpful if people mute themselves because I'm hearing. Whoa. Maybe a Wilda. Sorry, guys, it was me creating chaos. Remember when I tried letting my sister in on my phone? Well, I never disconnected it. But now we're good. Let's go. Nina, I was just going to add one last thing to that question. Most of all is that I work for Creator. Many, many years ago, I decided I don't work for an organization that abuses me or tells me what I should do or not do, or treats me less than. I work for God. Like I work for my Creator, my assignments. And so just remembering that, right? Like this is my work for the big, universal. It doesn't have to be God, but whatever that bigger version of energy is, that's what I work with and for. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Can you tell me in all of the work that you've done, all the different jobs in your career, which one helped you to heal the most?
What work I have done as a professional that has helped me to heal?
Yes.
Is that the question? Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You know, they've all had their pieces, but if you were asking me to select one, it was me as a massage therapist. That was the place where I did lots of my healing. Primarily because I could be with that energy I've just spoken about, and I could be there to support your body and your healing and know that you too were that same energy, right? And so it was just beautiful. I don't do it anymore. I ended up hurting my wrist with carpal tunnel, but I still remember, 9 hours of nonstop massage, playing soft relaxation music and smelling the essential oils, and the lighting was perfect. And I didn't have to think. I could just really, there's some people here who have experienced the Santa touch, right? But just really being in a space where I didn't have to think, where I could just let Creator flow through me. And so at the end of 8, 9 massages back to back, some days, I just felt so blessed, so utilized by Creator. So I needed a purpose, and I needed to be able to not be thinking, but be feeling. Yeah. It's also the work that I really, really honor is the embodied work, right? So yeah, I don't do massages anymore for a living as a professional, but I get to really be in touch with people's nervous system. And to me, that is such a gift and such a healing experience. Yeah. Here right now, I get to breathe. I get to be relaxed. My heart has settled. That is healing for me.
Okay. You're doing pretty good, I must say. Perhaps this will be the last question. As your book title, Running Through Darkness, what was one of the darkest experiences that you have arisen from?
That would have to be the return to my perpetrator and her husband, the return. The opening myself up once again to trusting, to dreaming, to hoping, to forgiveness, and unfortunately, getting fucked again, literally fucked again. Right? So that, I have to tell you, I don't even remember the question you asked me.
You answered it though. You answered
What was
it.
most harmful? What was most
The darkest. The darkest, as you're running through darkness, yes.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. So, in all full disclosure, for a moment there, I heard your question, I responded, but I went into the darkest place I've ever been in my life. And that is when you trust someone and they violate you, and then you trust them again, and then they violate you again. And then you keep your heart open and you say, you know what? I'll make a living out of this because you ain't bringing me down. Yeah. Thank you.
Right. No, thank you very much, Santa. Mary, back to you.
Thank you, Nina.
My pleasure, Dawn.
Yeah, Santa, I have a question for you too.
Oh, go for it.
Why did you decide to write your book?
Why did I decide to write it? Because
Yes.
it's a story that people needed to hear.
Mhm.
Simple as that. Yeah. Because there's too many people feeling alone out there, hopeless. Right? Because we're misunderstood as survivors. Because there's a movement out there, professional movement, anti-violence movement, where people cannot say, I'm hurting today. Like I'm emotionally hurting today, where it's not okay to say, I got triggered today. Because, we're supposed to stay in our role. And so I want clinicians, I want you all here, I want survivors to know that there is hope for us, and that what happened to us was not our fault, and that it's time for us to go get what's ours, what's always been ours. That's really why I wrote it.
Well, I have one more question. May I?
Certainly.
Santa, talk a little bit about this healing movement that you are energizing with this book.
Well, one of the things that you may or may not know already is that it is my desire to create a movement where we begin to acknowledge each other as equal, as the same. And I'm not talking about racial equity. I'm talking about spiritual equity. I'm talking about us treating each other like the gods and goddesses that we are and respecting that, right? So in this movement, I envision us being able to gather often, maybe monthly, to talk about our work, but also to bring together the energy of sister, brother, or shall I say siblinghood, to bring together that, to create a space where we can have dialogue, where we could continue to learn, where we could read books together, where we could meditate together. And of course, I am the person who would initiate that and create the space where we come together as just human beings wanting to love each other and care for each other and heal with each other. No one should ever say, I was all alone with this burden. So I want to create a movement where it's okay to be both the healer and the healed, where it's okay to support and be supported. Yeah. It's a little different than what our traditional mental health world tells us we should do. And so that's the movement, Nina. It'll start with a membership, and then we'll see where it goes. We'll see what we do. I'll let you know when we're on our way to South Africa.
South Africa?
I don't know. I'll let you know.
Hey, I'll start packing.
Thank you, Nina, for asking about that.
Okay. What's next on the agenda?
Well, one of the questions that I get all the time from people who on these Zoom launches is they want to know how they can help Santa promote her book. And so I have this very nice handout from a good friend who is a book coach herself. And I'm going to put the link in the chat. It's on Google Drive. And if you click on that link, you can go there and you can download this handout. And if you, for some reason, don't get it tonight, have Santa, send me an email and I will send it to you. But I just want to give people the ability to help Santa with her book. And also I want to include the link on Amazon, and I'll put that up shortly. If you haven't bought the book, I have to tell you all, I've read it. It's a brave and a very beautiful book. I was so moved by it. And I thought it was powerful. So I do hope that anyone who is interested will pick up a copy and read it, because it is so worth the journey. And also, next on our agenda, we're going to do a little trivia contest on how well do you know Santa? So for all of her friends, we even have prizes. And yes, Beth, you can certainly unmute yourself and ask a question. Feel free. She posted a question in the chat. Hi.
Hi, Santa. Congratulations on this amazing achievement.
Thank you, Beth. Thank
What
you.
Advice would you give to a survivor who is in their journey and not yet to where you are?
Just keep going at it. Keep going at it one day at a time. It is tough work, but it's so rewarding. And don't do it alone. Please don't do it alone. There are too many of us out here. So whatever it is, whatever support it is that you need, know that it's out here for you. Yeah. My book can be the beginning of that. But what's most critical is knowing that you're not alone and that it wasn't your fault. It wasn't your fault. Please know that. Thanks, Beth. Thank you.
Does anyone else have any questions? Feel free to unmute yourself. Okay, we can come back. Shall we do a trivia contest?
I think I want to ask how people are doing, Mary, just because this wouldn't be a Santa thing if we don't check in.
Absolutely.
So, is there anyone who wants to maybe not ask a question, but just maybe a word or two of what's happening for them in their body and their heart? This is an invitation to just simply be with yourself and to honor your body, mind, spirit. So is there anything you want to say? Sonia, hi.
Yeah,
Yes.
hi.
Hey,
Thank you.
Sonia.
Hey, Santa. Thank you for your bravery. And as I stopped and unmuted myself because as you were talking, I was sending the name of your memoir, and I'm going to send a link to a client who has her own organization for sexual assault survivors. So I'm going to send it to her because I think she and all of her people that she helped, I'm sure it's something that they will want to read and can help them.
Thank you. That's it. Thank you, Sister.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you.
All right, one more time. Anything else? Any burning desire, a word, a phrase, anything? Okay, well, know that I am.
I have a question. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes. No, go ahead, Yanni.
I didn't read your book yet, but I'm kind of thinking it's like a biography. It tells a bit of your story, right? So I was like, because I'm very interested in oral narratives and oral history, this type of thing, and also with my family, I would like to be able to write my story, but I'm always kind of afraid how they're going to be, how they're going to receive that. So that's I write and I put it away. And one day maybe I'm going to have the courage because how did it work for you? Did you talk about relatives? Because in the beginning you kind of honored your ancestors and all that, but how was it for you?
Well, a couple of things. One is that one of the things that Maxine Claire, my favorite lady coach, said to me is, Santa, you need to write from the wound. No. It's the other way around. She said, you need to write from your scars and not your wound. So when I came to her, I had a book full of all my bleeding, throwing up, pained, anguished self. And she said, this does not serve the public. So we need to look at how to create a book that speaks to, yeah, there's all these marks on me, and here's what happened, as opposed to I'm in it. So that's one thing. That doesn't answer your question, but I do want to pass that on, Yanni. And then the other thing is that she said, you have to first write the book for you. Now, there's some writing people here that could say differently, but that's what Maxine shared with me. And so that freed me up to just write. Like, this is for you. You may or may not publish it. You may or may not do anything with it, but first you have to write it for yourself. And that's how my process with her started. I needed someone to guide me moment to moment. And then the second thing I did, so there were three things, those two pieces of advice I took to heart. And then the second thing for me was, this is my life. This is my story. My siblings can write their own life, their own story life if they want to, but this is mine. And so I get to write it through my eyes, how I experienced it. And finally, I gave them all pseudo names, so they know who they are. And maybe you know who they are, right? So I decided, you know what? Too many requests. Don't do this. Don't. My book, my story, my names, right? So that's how I handled it. And now, I'm like, oh my God, when they call me, I'll be ready for them. First I call Beth, then I deal with them.
And I guess you had to do a work on codependency before, right? Or that's part of the process. So you don't really, yeah, how you write with your own voice, your own story, right? The whole, so I guess that's part of the healing too.
Yeah, so if you have something to write, just write it. Write it for you. Write it for you, not for them, but for you. And trust, right? That in time you'll know exactly what to do with it. Yeah.
Yeah, good. Thank you. Thank you for
You're
your answer.
welcome. You're welcome. Absolutely. Yeah.
I have a question, if that's okay. It's Julian.
Where are you?
I'm
Julian,
here.
there you are.
Yeah, I raised my hand. I'm gonna lower it. But what you said about, writing from the scar and not writing from the wound, I wonder if writing from the wound helped you get to the point where you could write from the scar, like the writing from the wounded part let you organize those feelings and those thoughts to the point where you could go and say, all right, so now that feels healed, as healed as it could get from that writing process, and then writing from the scar where it wasn't as emotionally taxing. That's my question.
The answer is yes. And I have to tell you that my writing started, I don't know, 20 years ago. I started writing this book. I worked with a coach for about 3. And I would say in the last 8 years, the book became a book. But first, it was my journals. That's how I started this book. I started thinking, oh, I'm going to take all these journals and just, type them up and publish a book, right? And no wonder the poor lady said, no, too much bleeding in this stuff, right? So yeah, that's where it started. It started with me doing my own healing work, and that's what the book is about. Yanni, you asked. It's not a what's the word? It's a memoir. It's not a documentary. It's not an autobiography, because it's a story. The way it's written, it doesn't go in chronological order. They're not all facts. Some of it is what I remember, the way I remember it, right? But it is my story, and it's a story of me as a survivor of sexual violence. It's a story of me as a survivor of being a first generation immigrant from the Dominican Republic. It's a story about me being raised in a very dysfunctional, alcoholic, drug addicted family, abusive, physically abusive, lots, so that's what this is. You won't find Santa and I had a lot of fun. Maybe, but not really, right? Yeah.
So I just wanted to add a comment. I'm not showing myself because I'm doing multiple things. I'm not even in the room with the computer. So I don't know if you guys can hear me, but I just wanted to thank you for sharing your humanity, because I'm a person who's like, oh, Santa, my therapist, how wonderful. But there's a Santa that's a Santa. And also in sharing your story, part of the healing for me, just listening to you, is that I have always been embarrassed by my story. I think that's part of what happens when you experience trauma. You become ashamed. And hearing you say, I had to write the book because it's a story people need to hear. It's simple, right? Matter of factly, it feels very encouraging because I have had an incredible amount of shame and concern about my story. Oh, I can't possibly tell it. And I feel like that kind of shame, holding on to it, has kept me blocked. And I am moving into a different season where I just don't give a hell anymore. But it's reassuring that they'll be able to see someone do it first and then come behind them. So I just really want to sincerely thank you for that.
That's it. That's the purpose of the book. Speak, Latoya. Yes, that is the purpose. Thank you. Any other curiosities before the trivia? right, Mary, I guess we're back to you.
Okay. Well, the way I'd like to do this is I'm going to put everybody back into the Brady Bunch format, simply because this is kind of a participatory exercise. So everybody can be seen. And I'm going to read off, there's only 6 questions here, but we're going to give some prizes out. Santa has a new membership site, and she's going to give away a membership as well as an ebook, a copy of her book as an ebook and also as a printed book. So the way we'll do this is simply, for the first question, we'll do the membership. And whoever is the first one to answer correctly will get the membership. So I'll just need you to message me directly in the chat with your name and your email address, and I'll collect all that information and get it to Santa. And the same thing with the second and the third one. And then the next ones are all going to be, I guess, bonus points. So Santa, is that okay?
Absolutely.
Okay. So here's the first question. Would Santa rather be forced to live the same day repeatedly for a full year or take 3 years off the end of her life? And which day would that be? So I see Tashana has her hand raised. You want to unmute yourself and
I was gonna say take 3 years off the her life. Yeah.
Okay.
I would say that she would prefer to not live the same day. Yeah.
Which is it, Santa?
Give away the answer?
Yeah.
Yeah. I would
Anyone else
prefer-
have an answer that they want to chime in? Nope.
Now, what gift-
Definitely 3 years off the end.
What gift
100%.
are they getting?
The membership.
Okay, let's see. So, Bridget, you look like you're thinking. Are you? I know that little face, Bridget. Okay, I'm gonna give it away.
Okay.
I would prefer to live a day over and over again. For me, what's important is the quality of my life, not how long I live. Now, does anyone want to guess what that day is that I would prefer to live over and over again? You may have needed to read the book or.
Santa.
Can you say more about that when you said I would prefer to live the same day over and over, and it's about the quality, not the, can you say more about that?
Yeah, well, I want to share with you, and you can read more about this in the book, but
Okay.
I have a favorite year in my life that I would really say, take 3 years off of the end and let me stay there over and over and over again. Yeah. And that is, living life day to day can be mundane. And sometimes I've asked myself, like, now, how do we do this, the same thing over and over and over and over again? But when I got the gift of living on the Eastern Shore of Virginia in 70 acres of land in a God, they were called double wide or single wide, in a single wide trailer for a year by myself. Huh? Walk the woods, see the moon, wake up to the sun, and be able to be in the woods, literally, naked, in the rain, dressed in the mud, lay on the mud. I would do that over and over again. Just keep me there, please, dear God. Keep me with nature. Keep me with animals. Keep me with those ancient trees. Keep me safe. I would rather live, actually, the rest of my life, one day at a time like that. Boy, did I meet God in so many different ways. Yeah, 70 acres of wooded land. City girl. Yeah, great question, Sonia. Or follow-up question to the trivia.
Well, let's try the next one. And we're still looking for the correct answer for a membership. to her Santa's new site. If Santa could bring someone in her family back from the dead, would that be her mom, her dogs, or her friend Victor, and why? Latoya said dogs.
Did you say yep, Roxana? Put it in, girl, put it in.
Put it in. And Mary Beth says Victor. Awilda Bravo says Victor.
Awilda. Mhm.
Let me see if I missed any. Nope, Latoya said dogs. Urjul Arsad said dogs. Victor hasn't, but Mary Beth has no idea why. And Awilda said Victor. So, and let's see, Robin, Victor, he still had a lot of living to do. Let's see here. Okay, it's a tie between Victor and the dogs.
Well, if you said dogs, you're absolutely right. I hate to tell y'all, I'll give up any human for my dogs. Yeah.
I
They're
can
very-
relate.
They're unconditional in terms of the love that they give. Yeah, they're consistent. They don't ask for much. Yeah.
Okay, so Latoya won the membership. Good for
Yay,
you, babe.
Latoya. Hey, Root. Hi. Mhm.
So
Good for
that's
you,
partly why I'm
Latoya.
off camera, because I'm packing up for my dogs. I'm traveling and I'm trying to get their bags together and they're running around me. And so I didn't want to, have them come through the screen.
Good
Okay,
mama.
Latoya, does Santa have your email address?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. That I won't bother for that now. Okay, next question. This is for the printed book. How many languages does Santa speak, and how did she learn those languages?
This for the book, ladies and gentlemen.
And Latoya put in 4.
Yay, Latoya.
Rouge put in, let's see, Mary Beth said 3. Oh, we get all sorts of people. Linda said 3. And Latoya said school self-study. 3 languages and learned an upbringing from Brigitte. Tashana, 2.
Leslie, 3.
Excuse me for all of you whose name I am mangling. Nobody gets my name right either, but that doesn't excuse it. Okay, we got a whole bunch of answers here. So which is it? 2, 3, or 4?
2.
2.
Only 2. Yes. Only
And how
2.
did you learn them?
Well, English as a second language.
Uh-huh.
That's how I learned English. But I am more excited to share with you how I learned Spanish. Because I learned English at a time when to have your first language be more prominent than English was not okay. I'm going to repeat that. I grew up in an era where for me to say I speak Spanish and I speak it well was nothing to be proud of. I needed to speak English and speak that really, really well. Yeah. So who taught me Spanish was my dad, for whom I'm very grateful. Every day after school, I had to come home and sit with him in his little blackboard and El Diario La Prensa and learn how to not just speak it, but learn how to read and write Spanish as well. When I got into college, I took Spanish. And of course, I aced it.
I bet you did.
But I knew the language. I just needed an easy class. I just needed to sneak in there and do something that I could be really good at. So I pretended.
Well, Tashana Trainer is our winner.
Yay!
He was the first one to answer correctly.
Yay. Yay. Did
So
you know
if-
it was my dad who taught me?
No, I don't remember us ever talking about that, but I just had a feeling it was 2.
Yep, you got it. You got it. Yeah, yeah. I asked Tashana because I talk a lot about myself, so I never know who knows what. That's the other reason why I have to remain honest.
And you do. You really
I
do.
could easily be what's the word? Found out if I were lying, right? Discovered. Yeah. Yay, you won a book.
So Tashana, if Santa does not have your email, please please give it to me or to her in the chat. You can direct message one of us if you like.
I actually have it, Tashana.
Okay, awesome. All right, next question, and this is for the ebook. Would Santa rather be forced to sing along or dance to every single song you hear?
Uh-oh. Roxanne got it.
I'm seeing a lot of
Put it in the
dances in
chat.
here.
Wow, dance, dance, and more dance. Yay.
Yeah, lots of dancing.
That is the giveaway.
That's
Yes.
the giveaway.
I would much prefer dance. And I'm the kind of person, I don't need a partner. Right, Roxana?
So Latoya was the first one to answer, but she won the membership. So should we pass that along to someone else?
Yes, I think so.
Okay, then Brigitte.
Who said that? Nina?
I did. Yeah.
Well, you know what I want to do, since this is my party.
Yeah.
I think I like to ask Latoya what she wants to do.
Okay,
She should have, right? Right, guys? Is it
I'm
only
good for
fair?
that.
Yeah. So Latoya, if you're still around, if you're not, then oh well.
She's there.
Wow, I had already responded to
You
Mary.
said pass along. Thank
Oh,
you.
okay. I didn't know that. Okay.
So Bridget is our winner.
Bridget.
Bridget.
Yay, Bridget.
Okay,
But
so that's
Roxana was the first to dance.
What was that?
Roxana was the first to dance on screen.
Well, but Roxana has a book already, right, Roxana? Roxana can't unmute herself. Go, girl, unmute. I see that finger.
Everything.
What did you say, Roxana?
I say I have everything.
You have everything. Yay. Mhm.
So here's a bonus question for you all, because Santa would say she has run into many angels throughout her life. Name at least 3 of them.
What if I gave you some names to pick from?
Okay, would you like me to read those as well?
Yeah, why not? That's a hard
Okay.
one.
Irene, Boswell, Carrie, Roxanne, De La Rosa. I think you made that one too hard.
I think that one requires the reading of the book.
Could be.
Yeah, well, these are all big time angels in my life.
Mhm.
Roxana, thank you, and Carrie. Yeah, for taking us in. You have to read the book to get the rest of that story. But yeah, Carrie and Roxana took us in. And I thank you for that. Boswell, old white man. The only person I talked to when I was living on that land by myself, because he came with his tractor trailer to help me take care of some things. I'll leave that mysteriously out there. He helped me take care of some things. And Mr. De La Rosa. Mr. De La Rosa. My, maybe 4th grade teacher who said, write an essay about something that's going on in your home. And I wrote about being sexually abused. Very coded, but he got it. And that was the day my healing around sexual abuse began. He was a teacher that got involved. and said, Santa, let's go talk to the counselor about your essay. Yeah. We can all be angels in someone's path. You just have to take the time, put in the extra work, be bothered. Yeah, be bothered. And you never know what you are doing for someone. So go out of the way. Yeah, do the harder thing. Open your heart. See your sister, your brother, your sibling. I'm trying to get used to saying sibling because I know when I gender things, I leave out a lot of people. So please forgive me for doing that today several times already. Yeah. So I want to read for my book. Is this the time when I get to share something?
Yes.
Santa,
Nina,
who
yes.
did you name your favorite angel? What was the question?
The question was who was, right? Santa would say she's ran into many angels throughout her life. Name at least 3 of them. So I named
Oh, to
1,
name
2,
3.
3, 4, 5, but I told you about 1, Mr. De La Rosa. Yeah, thanks, Nina. So, Mary, do we have time for me to do a little reading?
Yes, we have time.
Okay. So I'm reading, of course, from this extraordinary book called Running Through Darkness, Memoir of a Spiritual Warrior. Get your copy today! Hey, wait, I feel like doing this for real, for real. Where's Bridget? Yay! Yay! So here we go. This is from chapter 10, Lessons in Love. When we got to Cesar's home, I was surprised that Gladys was not home. She was at work and was not expected for a while. He invited me to sit and asked if I wanted something to drink. Reluctantly, I accepted. He then invited me to go upstairs to see his room. The moment I walked into the house and I heard that no one else was home, I knew something was up. Going up to his room confirmed it. I assumed I would be making out. I was not ready for what followed. Cesar gently reassured me that no one would be home for a while. Before I knew it, our making out transitioned to making love. I felt a barrage of mixed emotions. The experience reminded me of when I was a kid back home. I did want to share the intimate moments with Cesar, and I was excited about him wanting me in that way. But I also felt like it might be too soon for us to make our relationship, for us to take our relationship to that level. I felt too that it was not appropriate to be intimate at his sister's home and to be in her bed. It turned out that Cesar did not have a room to show me after all. But what was bizarre were my tears. When we finished making love, I began to cry. Cesar asked me, what's wrong? And if he had hurt me, I assured him he was very tender and that it was very pleasurable. But something had saddened me deeply in my experience with Cesar. I could see why they refer to sexual intercourse as making love. I had been part of many sexual events, but never would I have associated them with love. This felt special, different. But then why was I crying? Why was I comparing this to those horrible times at Lucy's house? My runaway feelings and thoughts were not intentional. I did not want to be thinking about my past, but I could not stop my mind from going there. That night, I had difficulty falling asleep, which, when I did fall asleep, I had horrific dreams. The memories of the many times Carlos had forced me to be sexual with him would not cease. Thank you for listening. I want to ask everybody to just take a deep breath. That's not an easy piece to receive. You may find yourself identified. And know that you're not there today. You're in a safe place right now. You're good. I'm good. And he's gone, and so is she. Thank you. Yeah. Any thoughts, anything anyone wants to share? Anything that you feel is coming up for you that needs to be said? Please know that I hear you even if you don't speak. Love is love. Love is not meant to be painful or scary or forced. Love is pure, loving, caring energy of acceptance, support, of kindness, of compassion, and passion. Don't forget. Mary. Where do we go next?
Does anyone have any final things to say tonight? We're a little past 6:30. We don't want to keep everyone past the hour unless there's something everyone wants to talk about.
I was just reading a comment that someone wrote that I think is important for all of us to know, and that is that I've been practicing for a long time how to speak about something that's very complex, very painful, in a way that makes it seem okay. Please know that you too someday will tell your story in a way that brings healing to others. Yeah, but it takes time. It takes time. I have something else I want to read, only if no one else has any thoughts or questions or anything they'd like to share.
I just have a comment that sometimes I feel that it's a great advancement that we have sexual education in school and more media is talking about it in a sense of giving knowledge and resources to people. But I always think that it's still missing. I read some study about why nowadays still women don't ask for guys to wear condoms, right? And I read this piece that was so interesting because the writer was so puzzled, and she went to research and got to this point in which how delicate is this moment and how much preparation and discussion and talking, in the sense that many times you get to that point and you still don't know what to do and how to back off and how to, and all the confusion in the mind of a young girl. So just that thought that I want to see more work on that. Talking about that aspect, I see my daughter's school, they talk a lot about the technicalities of sex and contraception and all that, but the emotional part of it, the how brutal can be, even when you want it, and all the stories that you bring with yourself and all the more memories. So I just hope that we keep progressing in that. So it's good that you brought that up.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Yanni.
your story liberates people to come up and tell their own story, and then we have a wider view of the human experience.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. Kathy, I thought I saw something you wrote in the chat. Did you have a question or just something you wanted to comment on? And if I saw something that wasn't so, then, nothing to say. I was looking at some of the messages and noticed. Yeah.
Santa, may I just say one last thing?
Nina, yes.
I just wanted to say that I learned more about you today, and definitely I believe that your book will touch all of our scars. So thank you for that.
Thank you, sister. Mhm. Mhm. Thank you for all the hearts. Thank you for all the messages. Yes. So what do you all say? You ready for another reading to put you to bed? Maybe?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Okay. Okay. I picked a 1 and then a 2. And the 2 was supposed to be lighter. So we'll see how I do. First time ever doing a book reading. Woohoo! Okay, here we go. After a long day of work, I would prepare to take a journey up to North New Jersey. I deeply looked forward to being away and having time to focus on taking care of myself. I packed a car with all my comforts, ready for my 4-hour journey. Despite the heavy traffic and the stormy weather, everything was going well. When I got close to the exit off the New Jersey Turnpike, my obsession began. Every 5 minutes, I checked the directions I had printed from MapQuest. Does anybody remember MapQuest? Printed directions? That was me. My anxiety built to the point of my inability to retain the directions written on the paper. I talked out loud to myself while driving. What's the next exit? I can't make a mistake and get lost. Shit, relax. Do not panic, Santa. You're almost there. Or you'll start feeling out of control and then you will never get there. Stop it. You're self-doubting again. Just stop it. What's the exit number? I can't remember it. Again, going through the same cycle. Finally, thank God, I would see the exit. As I exited the freeway, I got a moment of relief. One part of the journey was completed, but the rain was still pouring down. The sky was black and the streets were not brightly lit. Obsessively, I continued to look at my directions. Then my worst nightmare happened. Oh no, I have to go. I had an incredible urge to go to the bathroom and to relieve my bladder. I saw myself as I were watching someone else. I was in a state of complete anxiety. I was hungry. After all, I would not stop to pick up anything to eat. I didn't want to lose any time. The moment of triumph and comfort I experienced getting through the New Jersey Turnpike had dissolved. Nothing made sense, and there was no one around to assist. I wondered, what was I doing in New Jersey anyway, looking for the Bloomfield Community College? I'd made a big mistake. My bladder was about to burst, and my time was running out. Filled with frustration, tears and running down my face, I pulled over. I asked myself again, what the hell are you doing here? For one short moment that felt like an eternity, I was reminded of my pain, frustration, fear, and anger. The memory of all those who had abandoned, abused, raped, and made empty promises to me came pouring in. I felt like a motherless child, alone and helpless. It was as if the black, cloudy sky had fallen over me. All I could think about was how helpless and alone I felt. I was unable to remember my faith or escape the horrible feeling in the pit of my stomach. I felt like a vulnerable child who wanted to go back home where it was safe, warm, and dry. I forgot that God had brought me all the way from Maryland, 4 hours from home and years away from my trauma. It dawned on me to ask, why would he abandon me now? There's a lot more to that. But again, you'll have to buy the book and read it. I made it to Bloomfield College in North New Jersey. Thank you. Thank you so much. I know that some of you have written little things in the chat, and I haven't had a chance to read them all, but thank you. The only thing that's in my heart is to say thank you.
I will download that and send it to you.
Oh, great. Thank you,
Yeah.
Mary. Thank you.
Thank you, Santa. What a gift.
So, Are you saying bye, Leslie? Good night.
Well, thank you all so much for coming. This was great.
And thank you for taking the extra time. I know this wasn't such a fun party, but I promise next time we party, we'll party. But I have an inside joke I have to say. I hope you all understand. Different cultures party differently. Yeah, and this is the Western culture. This is a party. Believe it or not. Thank you for coming. Have a wonderful night. Stay safe. And know that I'm here to support you if you need my support. Love you, Lesla.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome, Santa. Thank you for sharing.
Thanks, Roxana.
Good night,
Thank you,
everyone.
Sandra, and
Good
congratulations.
night.
Good
Good
night.
night, everyone.
Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you and
Good
congratulations.
night. Good night, everyone.
Good night,
Oh,
Santa.
lovely.
Good night,
Nice.
Chris, Blair, and Sonia, and Nina.
Nice.
Hey, have a wonderful night, Mary Beth. Yes. Sonia, you okay, sis?
I'm great. Mhm.
Okay,
I'm great.
wonderful. Have a great night.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh, hey,
I have to
lady.
tell you, I think that was one of the most joyous book launches I have ever seen.
Joyous.
Joyous.
Wonderful. Good word.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Mary Beth, are you
congratulations.
still there?
Might have stepped away.
Just wanted to make sure we knew there was still someone with us, maybe. So tell me more, Mary. And Nina, thank you. Thank you, beloved.
It was okay?
I think so. What do you say, Mary?
I think that everyone here had a very shared purpose, and the sharing, I think, was just remarkable. And you should feel very proud of what you did.
Thank you. Thank you. I do.
It's just the beginning. Oh,
Just the
my.
beginning.
Nerve-wracking, I have to tell you.
And thank you to everyone who joined us on Facebook as well. There was a bunch of people on Facebook as well.
Is it, do you know how many? Like, is that something we?
You know, I'll take a look afterwards. I can't see it from here, but we're still streaming on Facebook. And there's a lovely stream of comments as well that you can take a look at. And that recording will be saved on your page.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Okay.
On
So,
what page? The Facebook
on your
page?
Facebook, on your business page.
Okay, sounds good.
All
Mary,
right.
you'll let me know when we meet again?
Yes, I certainly will.
I'm on a roll now.
You're on a roll. Thanks, ladies. It was
Thank
great.
you, Mary. Thank you.
Take
Nina,
care.
shall we chat?